Well, hello there. Can you believe it's been a week already since we last talked? But it has. It is February 23rd. Thanks for joining me on this Market Monday. Before we get started, take a second, hit that subscribe button, press that notification bell so that you know the moment Market Monday hits. We always start off with the law of supply and demand. No different this week. The supply side, new listings. We brought 400 new listings on the market so far this year. 51 in the last week. So we're at 349 last week. We're at 400 this week. A year ago, we're at 418. So we're about 4% lower than we were a year ago. And 5 years ago, February 23rd, 2021, we were at 516. We're 23% lower than that. How does that impact the local inventory? You know, last week I spent a lot of time talking about how low inventory is. And folks, it's still really low. We're at 841 properties for sale at the moment on Hilton Head Island. That's an increase of 12 over the last week. But compare that to where we were a year ago at 988. Inventory is 15% lower than where we were at this time 1 year ago, and 25% lower than where we were 5 years ago on February 23rd, 2021. That is the big takeaway last week and again this week. Inventory is not increasing like it normally does in January, February into March. It's just not coming on the market the way that it has in the past. And that, you know, if we keep kind of a low inventory, it almost doesn't really matter what happens with sales activity. Prices will continue to go up. And I feel like they're going up now at a higher percentage than what they did in 2025. And it's mainly because of that. It's not because sales activity and competition among buyers driving prices up. It's scarcity that is driving prices up right now. So that's the supply side of the equation. The demand side, that's the purchase side, the buy side. Let's get into that. 271 properties have gone under contract so far this year. That's 35 over the last week. At this point last year, we were at 279. So we're 2.9% less this year. But as you know, 15% less inventory. And if we look at 5 years ago, February 23rd, 2021, we were at 563. So we have less than half of what we had in terms of pending sales 5 years ago. Now the closed sales, we've had 214 sales closed so far this year. That's 21 over the last week. Closed sales at this point last year were at 245, so we're 10% lower, but the pendings have picked up. So I'm expecting us to kind of catch up to next year here in the next couple of weeks. So 245 last year, 214 this year. And again, looking back 5 years ago, 2021, we were at 400 closed properties at this point in 2021. And again, we're sitting at 214. What does that do to absorption rate? Another week at 5.1 months. We had reached 5.9 was the highest that we had reached a couple months ago. We're down to now 5.1 months. Again, driving factor is not sales transactions, but low inventory. Where were we a year ago? 5.8 months. So 0.7 months, almost 3/4 of the year less inventory right now. And again, looking back 5 years ago, February 23rd, 2021, we're at 3.3 months. So quite a difference just a couple years make. Again, keep in mind that 3.3 months created a market that was just a frenzy of a market. It really wasn't a great market for anybody, right? Like buyers were running around with their hair on fire, trying to make deals on properties with 27 other offers and weren't getting their properties inspected that they were purchasing. Like that wasn't good. And the seller in that instance had to go on and buy something else. So they had to deal with the same thing. So I think we want a little bit more of a balanced market than we had 5 years ago, but I think things are moving in the right direction right now. It could get frenzied again if interest rates take a tumble. Days on the market, next stat, time it takes for when a house comes on the market, the amount of days that goes by before it typically receives an offer and goes under contract. This number has gone up and up and up, 115. Why has it gone up? I don't think it's gone up because it's taking that much longer. But over the last couple of years, there's a lot of properties that came on the market at aspirational prices that never sold. And those properties have sat and sat and sat, and they've had price reductions and price reductions. And over time, that house that came on the market 2 years ago that was priced too high then becomes priced correctly for two reasons. Number one is price reductions, but also prices have been moving up. So as those two kind of meet, the price reduction and values coming up, that house then becomes a great deal and it sells. And when it does, it's selling with a much higher days on the market than a house that's just price correct out of the gate. So 115 days, last week it was 110, so up a little bit over the last week. A year ago we were sitting at 83. So 83 to 115, that's a pretty significant difference. And looking back to 2021, that frenzy market was 152. And that's an example of, we had so much stuff that had been sitting on the market for years and years and years that got cleaned out during the COVID frenzy, that we saw, at least let's say the first year of the COVID frenzy, we saw high days on the market because so many houses were mixed in that had been on the market for years. Hope that makes sense. Next, let's talk about property values. Median sale price up to $780,000. Last week we were at $825. The week before that we were like at $860, but we just had some high price sales pushing the values higher. I think we're getting into kind of a real number. 780 would indicate, based on last year's price at this time of 736, 875, it's about a 6% increase in value. And my gut tells me, based on the sales that I'm seeing, that's right about where we are right now. That's a good number. So current median sale price, 780. A year ago it was 736, 875, and 5 years ago it was 466, 500. Right? Good things with prices right now. Wrapping it all up, what do you need to know? Inventory is down significantly, 15%. Closed sales are down 10%. Prices are up 6%. Absorption rate, we're sitting at 5.1 months for an absorption rate. If you're a seller, inventory is up a little bit, but just remember how historically low it is. It is unbelievably low right now based on the 5 and 10 year average. Prices have come back up over the last couple weeks, or prices have backed up over the last couple weeks is what I should have said. So we were looking at median sale price a little bit higher than what we're looking at right now, and that has come down. But just keep in mind, prices year over year are up, and I think they're up about 6%, what we're seeing in this slide. Buyer, one of the neatest statistics that we don't track every week, that is, I read a couple articles for the Bluffton Sun and the Hilton Head Sun, and I came across this doing my research for that. But we've been saying, if you're a buyer, make an offer. Don't worry about what the asking price is, worry about what the property's worth and make that offer. And to show you that this is happening, right now, the list price to sale price ratio, so the price that the house first comes on the market at versus what it sells for, is the lowest it's been in 6 years. Houses now on Hilton Head are selling for 93.3% of their original asking price. And for us to find a number at 93% or less, we have to go back 6 years. There were times where it was over 100% during the pandemic. We had been sitting like last year around 96%, but it's dropped to 93.3, and it just goes to show what we've been saying. If you're a buyer, make an offer, negotiate. I think a couple weeks ago I said we've been surprised at how many deals we've seen go together at numbers that, based on the asking price, we didn't think was possible. But it's happening, and that's the opportunity right now. There's not a lot of inventory, so the opportunity is to do your homework, find the right house, make a thoughtful offer based on value. What is the house really worth? Less important what they're asking, it's more about what the house is really worth, and going in from that approach. And we're seeing lots of success for buyers with that. Finally, we'll wrap it all up with interest rates. Pretty good little drop this week. Last week we were at 6.09 on the 30-year. This week it's down to 6.01. So nice little drop. A year ago we were at 6.85. On the 15-year, last week we were at 5.44. This week it's 5.35. 1 year ago it was 6.04. So the interest rates are doing that You know, when you look over time, it's a slow decline. A lot of us would like to see it be a little bit quicker, including the current presidential administration. But it is what it is, and it's a slow decline, and things are really coming together. Hopefully you're interested in this market as we are. If there's anything that I can do to help you, drop me a message. Everybody that stops me when they see me on the street and thanks me for Market Monday, you're welcome. I love when people say hi to me and tell me what they think about Market Monday. And thanks again. We'll see you next week. Take care.